Being a Honkai Impact 3rd fan, you always have stupid ideas that you want to continue with, but you never know how to actually do them. That was me 3 minutes ago with a 14-year-old laptop that I decided to download Honkai Impact 3rd on. Of course, I packed myself a cup of water, and I tried 3 times to do this, and every single time it was so laggy that I couldn't do my Elysian Realm, because of course I put the entire settings on max for whatever reason. Don't know. It's eluded me. I would like to warn that I am actually sick during this with the flu, and I was incredibly dizzy while making this. I think it made it worse. However, it's fun. So, the laptop we'll be using is a Asus G74S something something something. It's supposed to be on Windows 7. It's on Windows 10, I'm pretty sure. It is 100% most likely below the minimum specifications for Honkai Impact 3rd. However, does that stop me? No. No, it doesn't. Could I get lower with playing this? Most likely. I could probably get way lower. Like a $2 MacBook that has 200 viruses and is wanted by the CIA because it once contained things that it should not have. Looking at the performance rating from 2011 when this thing came out, it says the average score for playing games is an 85.61%, which is good apparently, but it's not that anymore. It hasn't been that for probably years. However, it is in my heart. So, we're gonna do it. So, for this run I decided to go with Light as Bodhi, Empty as Shala, Deep Space Anchor First Light, and Blood Rose. Of course, we're gonna go with a Stellar Outburst build, so we're gonna go with Blessing of Vivance, Resolution, and Meditation. Meditation, of course, is a filler piece if you want to play Helia and Elysian. It recovers Rapid Shot, so theoretically it would be good for a base Rapid Shot build too, which would be outside of Stellar Outbursts, so that's not part of what we're doing. For my Astral Up, I decided to go with Songsha. I decided to go for Sue's first core, mostly with damage bonuses, and then I also tried to go for Eden's first core, which I did end up getting pretty early. Eden's first core is really good if you want to spam Helia's ult, which is good if you want to get the core meditation. And there are 3 optional signets you can go for with Helia. You can go for Vilvi, Partafelice, or Sakura. I feel like all of these are pretty good for a boost, but I feel like for this run the best one I was going to focus on was Vilvi and Partafelice. Right around the beginning is when it started to get really laggy. I was starting to think, oh my gosh, maybe I should quit before I get too good. I decided to keep on going and at least go until the second boss because I think I just like to torture myself like that. And you know, this is a good bout of torture. The fans on the laptop were probably going louder than unoptimized Minecraft in 2014 with 17 viruses. I feel like if I had recorded the audio on the actual laptop, the only thing you would be able to hear is the fans. That's why I'm kind of commentating over it. This is not something I really want to do again. Before I had played with Vita, and it was not fun. She couldn't even clear the second boss because the lag was too much, and whenever the tank boss would just do the drive-through thing, I would just lag so hard that I couldn't dodge the tank. So I'd see the frame before it hit me, and then after it hit me, with no time or input registry. I don't recommend ever doing this. This feels like using the minimum specifications like on an iPad, but the iPad's like the 4th version that they ever came out with on the lowest OS version because the security updates stopped coming out for the specific version. And you have 17 viruses and there are Cheeto crumbs covering your screen. As you can see in the footage, the frame rate drops or the input lags. It's not the fault of the game really, it's more the fault of the laptop. I feel like it also could be a skill issue. I really should have just predicted that I was going to need to dodge like 10 minutes ago, but, you know, I just can't predict that magically. I was starting to realize here that I would probably have to start looking at my skill icons more, because sometimes you really do get focused on the animations and you don't really look at the skill icons, or you just get focused on the skill icon and not be able to see the animations. The frame rate really wasn't going above 18 frames per second. On a normal modern day system, at least you can get above 24 if you really want to. As long as your health doesn't go down, you really don't need to focus on how much the frame rate is going down. Although as a kid, this laptop probably got 100 viruses or something. I think the malware scan when I was 8 was like 100, which is really unfortunate, but as a kid I would literally Google malware download and just click every link. Of course I was 8 and I feel bad for my mother now. Even if that's the case, it's on Windows 10, it should be on Windows 7, so of course it's lagging really bad. To be fair, it was really only bought to play World of Warcraft and nothing else. World of Warcraft is a really RAM-dependent game, so that's probably why it's playing Honkai Impact 3rd decently well. I don't know what the CPU is, but I'm sure it's decent enough to actually play the game. I understand it's really a crappy computer and like the state it would be in now, but it's not as bad as like one of those lower end MacBooks that would probably set on fire in the presence of even downloading the game, or one of those games out there that are way worse. Like, I feel like this computer would probably actually set on fire if it was playing Genshin or like Zenless Zone Zero. I don't know. This laptop has played Honkai Impact 3rd before. 2 years ago I would use it to do usually just raids in my dailies. But it's been my passion project to keep this one alive, even though it's probably tried to die at least 8 times. Don't regret it, playing this on the lowest quality laptop that's probably in my house. As you could see from before, it's actually a beast. It's a giant screen, like 17.5 inches, which is kind of funny. So yeah, it's a decent graphics card, I'm pretty sure, like for its time, but you know, times change, so does graphics cards, and things get better over time. So this graphics card is no longer very good, and I've seen worse. Like if you use an APK and you upload it to BlueStacks, sometimes the character's hair will just not work, and it'll be like just a solid green, red, or like a pink, which is kind of funny to watch when it's not happening to me. I feel bad for those people now. It's probably a very low quality gameplay experience. Like doing this Elysian Realm gameplay, I really hadn't realized how good my Helia is built. Originally I tried to use Vita, but Vita couldn't do it because she doesn't have her weapon, so I didn't really know what to do. And I was just kind of sitting there, and someone followed me, like, earlier, and their name on Twitter was Helia Aura Farming. I don't know, it was just such a funny name that I was like, sure, what the hell, I'll try to use Helia. I'd really given it one more chance before I was actually gonna, like, just quit this idea. You know, I'm gonna shoot my shot. And this is my first run with Helia, and it's kind of fun. It's more fun than I was having with Vita. I did 2 runs with her, and it's not working out in my favor. You can really see how much better I'm getting through the lag if you just watch progressively. It's really interesting to watch because, you know, I feel like a lot of those people who play with lag all the time are just really used to it. I feel like those people work around it in a way, but it's kind of disappointing because some of the animations just don't work. Like when I would click my T key, Eden would just not show up when I had Eden up. At some points it felt like it was kind of ruining the experience. However, I have seen Honkai lag harder, and I have seen full-on characters break, and I've seen intense bugs that have been uncovered. I feel like if you've been playing long enough, you've seen quite a few bugs in your time. And also, I've seen quite a few people report a lot of bugs, which is really good. I feel like if you ever find a bug, you should report it, no matter if you already think that people have seen it. Like during Chapter 1 and Part 2, you could run around the map and find that if you angled your camera slightly up and jumped in front of buildings, you could see that text would appear on your screen that should only appear for cutscenes. That would just tell you what building it is, which is kind of interesting, as are most bugs to me, because they just kind of make the game. I feel like every bug usually makes the game more interesting to me, as long as it doesn't ruin the gameplay experience, of course. I'm trying to cut over uninteresting parts like shops and stuff, just so I can really show the brunt of it without boring you. And so we're gonna get to the 3rd boss. I think this one is the funniest one because really, you can just tell that I was trying to get it done rather than like actually play it. And so quite a bit of times during this fight, I do stand right in the beam of attack, and that's really disappointing. I don't usually do that, I promise. It is a little hard to dodge because there is an input lag that it kind of ruins part of the gameplay experience. However, the game wasn't optimized to play at these specs, so it's not the fault of the developer. It would be 100% worse if I was playing with like 1,000 or 100 Honkai beasts in front of me and maybe a boss, but I'm not doing that. I'm playing with just a few enemies, so it's not as laggy. Like, I feel like if I tried to load up the Part 2 world and actually got really into it, I'd be lagging a lot more. But, of course, this is a game that's supposed to be optimized to play on the phone, and a lot of people do play on their phone, which is why it's kind of more optimized. Even if I'm playing this on a laptop, it's still optimized enough to play the game. I have noticed that loading screens take way longer. Like, usually they're like a few seconds, but these are like 10-second loading screens, which I've seen longer, but that's still kind of shocking. Alright, now we're on to Alicia, so let's go over that boss fight. I feel like a lot of my hard work, which was just lagging my ass off, went into fighting Alicia. And you know, I feel like the Alicia boss fight at the end is always good, because either you hate Alicia and you want to see her ass kicked, or you like Alicia and you like to see Alicia. This is really difficult to play, and I don't recommend playing like this unless you have to. It's incredibly frustrating, and I feel like if you have to, then you can, but like, if you don't have to, don't ever try this. It's really boring, and it can be really difficult to not be frustrated, especially when you're trying to click a button and it's not buttoning. Playing this is like holding an umbrella and getting struck by lightning. Like, holding the umbrella is not going to help you. Not at all. You're getting struck by lightning. The lightning is going to scorch the umbrella and you are going to get struck. However, half of the horror comes from the fact that I was probably extremely dizzy and sick with the flu. So that really does make it incredibly helpful, especially making this. I feel like that makes my tolerance go down quite a lot. And I hope my voice will return so I don't sound like a teenager going through puberty anymore. But with that, we have won our 500 crystals and secured ourselves the stupidest person on the internet. I don't know why I ever decided to do this. This was a horrible idea. Never do this. Never try this. Why would you ever try this? I bet you looked at this video and were like, why would you do that? to solve the age-old question of should I play Honkai Impact 3rd on my 14-year-old laptop? No! Alright, I was Hare Hunter. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.